this afternoon. I don't know why you think you can keep driving around on your winter tires, because the excessive summer heat wears them out quicker than your winter tires. So it's not the time of year to be driving around on bad tires. They're celebrating 25 years. Central Connecticut's #1 homegrown tire source. Friendly, expert service. I've been going to Tony for 20 years. He's unbelievable. And if he can't get you the Cooper, Michelin, BF Goodrich, Hankook tires that you need, he's got a warehouse full of them, over 20,000 of them in a warehouse that he can get them within an hour. So go see Tony over right behind Bedding Barn on Route 6 in Bristol. Don't sleep on your most important safety feature, your tires. TireDepotCT.com. Will the new NIL rule help or hurt NCAA sports?
Man, I don't know. I think what David said there in that last interview that we just had with him said something about that just sticks with me, is like how he knows a kid's not going to be here for 4 years. Like that to me is a wild philosophy that is completely honest and probably true, and I don't like it. And that makes me feel like we're losing so much of, you're from Connecticut, you're from this area, you go to UConn. Like, it's not regional anymore. It's not much pride in the university as far as people who live here. Now, don't get me wrong, we got our Donovan Klingons out there. Right. There's got a lot of people that grew up around a university and aspire to go to that university when they get older. But that's becoming few and far between as the more and more we get into this NIL world.
I agree with all of that. I think it's going to be more confusing. You're going to have some schools that how do you, if you say you're going to cap how much, it's like 22% of the revenue of the college can give it to the kids for NIL and sports. I get that. How can, because I know the revenue at Alabama is more than the revenue at UConn. I know the revenue at Texas or Florida State's bigger than UConn. We're a state school, and we've been operating with a loss for years. You know, if I could pay you $3 million instead of like $1 million at UConn, we can't compete for the kid. And that's my biggest fear, is that some of these schools that have excess money to give out or get it from an outside NIL source. This is an issue. I know that we've got the people here that are trying to raise $50 million on the outside of Connecticut that are trying to help the NIL deals and stuff like that. But still, man, I just think there's some school alumni, these oil barons down in Texas and Oklahoma. So they got so much money, man, and it's just, I think it's going to hurt NCAA smaller schools to compete, and you're going to have to drop down to D2 or D3 because you don't have the NIL. And we talked about this. Listen, I think it's fair for the student athletes to get paid, for their name, image, and likeness. Do I think that some kids should make $10 million over another kid making $1 million? No. There's got to be some kind of happy medium where we not cap it, but it'd basically be the Yankees versus the Twins, or the Yankees versus the A's. The Yankees have way more money. They have a better cable system. They got the Yes Network worth $5 billion. They're in the biggest market in the country. It's hard to compete with them. Can you imagine doing that in college sports, where I know I can get more money to go to Alabama than to go to UConn? It's a no-brainer if you're a parent or a student.
Yeah, I think the whole professionalism thing, when you put that on these kids, it is becoming the Wild West. And it's just like David has explained to us, like that 20.5 is an average of revenue sharing, an average of what Alabama to UConn to CCSU. That's supposed to be the average. But like you're saying, you're trying to tell me the owner of the car dealership isn't going to make some kind of deal that, it's not about him playing football. I just wanted his autograph, and I paid $3 million for it. Like, what something is worth, I think, is coming into play here.
Right. Getting around the rules is what I'm worried about.
And then he brought up collective bargaining agreement. I think he's right. It needs to happen. But who represents the players? And which players are you representing? The football? All of them? The men? The women? Crazy, man. Crazy.
All right, Daily Pickle coming up next.